forest where Icicle lives. It's a magical forest. This is my new pet, Fred. He's a gargoyle. I've always wanted a gargoyle. I'm Lola, and I love gargoyles. And he says, banish all evil from this place. And we hope that evil is banished from this outside world, because in our inner world, there's not evil. All the people there, other than the altars, they don't commit crimes. They can't commit crimes. They are good, and they talk to us. I mean, we know they're not altars, but they're people, and they don't do bad things, and we wish that people here didn't do bad things. Brandy isn't allowed in the inner world because our inner world is filled with traumatic material. I don't know how to explain it. It's like we're inoculated against it, and I don't know why it's that way. Let's say there's a movie in our inner world. Sometimes it'll be fun, normal movies, like movies from the outside world, or movies that the brain makes up that are good and they make us happy, or they're funny, or you know, all the things we need. But then sometimes there are movies that are related to trauma, and so like that's why Brandy can't come. And so like there's posters that are, you know, memories of trauma, and there are companies that have logos that are based on Brandy and the bodies, not Brandy, but all of our trauma. I don't understand why it works this way, but like if I am in the inner world and I see something traumatic, it doesn't have any effect on me. It's supposed to be there. It just belongs there. And so like let's say you go to a bus stop and they have a bus bench, and you know how like they put people's faces on bus benches? Well, in our inner world, sometimes on our bus benches are memories of trauma and sayings related to what people said to us. And like sometimes there are murals on the walls in the cities that are murals of memories that happen to the body. But I don't know why, but they don't bother us. They just belong there, and that's why Brandy's not allowed in the inner world. And there's a lot of examples of that. You know, like there could be graffiti on a wall, and that graffiti could be an image of trauma that actually happened. Just anything you can imagine in a city. You know, like movies and TV shows and murals, and you know, on the sides of like taxis that have either supposed to have like ads. Sometimes they're ads, but sometimes they're memories of trauma and different images or different things people said, or you know. And sometimes there are like cops that come through the cities with bullhorns, and they speak out some of the things that were said to us during very bad traumatic things, and they just go through the whole suburb and they just announce it. They're like, this happened and that happened, and they say it in detail, and they just go through it, the whole thing. And it doesn't, but for some reason we're inoculated to it, the ones who are in the inner world. But it doesn't go everywhere. Like in the forest where Icicle lives, it's a magical forest, and like it has really pretty trees that don't exist in this world. Hopefully one day we can make a drawing that somewhat resembles it. It's so beautiful. The trees are electric. They're lit up like lights, and like when the leaves fall, it's glitter falls with them, and fireflies and light. It's just very beautiful. And when you go in that forest, it's very magical. There are no signs of trauma. They don't put that there. So basically our city's like this. It's like a circle And on the outside of the circle is a big city, and the buildings go in all directions like a blooming onion, sort of, but in wilder directions. And it has no electricity and water, and there are bugs and bad things. It's a very dark and scary, like dystopic place, and it's cloudy and dark, and some alters live there, and they're not supposed to be there. They're lost there. They are lost there, and they don't know how to get out. But actually that city, on the circular city on the outside, is just a facade. It's a trick, so people, if anybody tries to approach it that tries to hurt us, they will just get lost in the labyrinth of that city, and they'll never get out. They'll never make it to our real inner world, which is in the center. It's circular in the center, and there are levels. And so far, there are about 5 levels, subterranean, and like there's a dome, and it's lit. It's like Simon Says, it's like lit bright green. The top is bright green because green's our favorite color, and nobody can get in the dome. So even if they got through the labyrinth on the outside, there's no way in the dome for them. And so on the bottom of the dome, on this most subterranean level, the 5th subterranean level, is a jail. And in that jail we used to be put when Brandy would hold on to the body, but we're not put there anymore because she tries really hard to make sure that we're not put there anymore, because it really hurt us. But now there are altars in the subterranean level, and these are the really dangerous altars. Some of them are small children and animalistic, and some of them are adults and teenagers, and they're really sick, and they hold a lot of trauma, and they don't understand that the trauma's over. And so we do our best to keep them in that prison, which is really upsetting. We don't want them there. We wish they were free and they could be out, but if they were out, they would hurt the body, and they would hurt it really bad. They might kill the body, and so we don't want to die. We don't want to die, and that's some of the inner world. There's more stuff to it than the magical forest and the caves and the subterranean 5-level circular dome and the outside. There's a lot of beauty there, a lot of safe beauty, and we like to be there. And Brandy likes that you watch our videos, and she thanks you. And it means a lot to us because we're having a really hard time. There's a lot of bad stuff happening in the world, the outside world, that hurts us greatly. We don't like to see people abused. So we hope Biden wins, because we don't want people to be abused and sent away and hurt just because of the color of their skin, or they're women, or, we don't like people getting killed by the police. So hopefully Biden wins, and we'll be okay. And we miss Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was amazing. And we're really scared. And we hope we didn't bum you out. And Fred says bye, and I'm Lola Blue, and right now I'm 12, and I was here to send messages. We're gonna do it. We gotta do it, okay? Okay, bye everybody.